Hey, what's up guys? Kane here with XBLA fans. I'm going to be giving you a quick taste of Strange Brigade. Now, Strange Brigade is coming out soon to Xbox One. It's from Rebellion. You might remember them from Sniper Elite 4. So this game kind of has similar gunplay in general. It's got some really cool things. We're going to be playing as, different characters. It's got full co-op. The game has, waves of enemies. It's got areas with traps. It's got puzzles. It's got pretty diverse weapons. There's a couple different modes. You've got this normal campaign, which I'm showing you one of the early levels. Well, the early level. This is the one we're allowed to show early before release with the embargo and everything. So from what I've played so far, I've been really enjoying this game. I think it's looking really good. I'm excited to play more of it. I'll be playing more of this on stream when the game comes out. And I'm excited to play more of this campaign. And I know for a fact that I'll probably be playing more of the Horde and Score Attack when I have some friends who also have the game as well. So you're going to be killing, various, creatures and monsters, and the entire, enemy set, at the moment at least, kind of has an Egyptian vibe, which is kind of cool. I'm really digging that. So you've got some pretty diverse enemies. You've got these kind of powers that each of these characters have that you can charge up this amulet, and then you can use an amulet attack, and you get those amulet charges from killing enemies and then holding that right trigger. The game has some, creative weapons that you're going to find throughout the level, including that flamethrower, which I picked up by using gold that you find in the level. It's a similar mechanic that's going to work in the Horde mode, which we'll show off a little bit later. One of my favorite aspects of this game is the amount of different traps and things throughout the environments. I absolutely love the way that this game is using the environment, and it's not just, waves and waves of enemies, and they've kind of, made it all work and make kind of sense within the game, and that's really cool to see. The game does a really solid job of just kind of doing a lot of different things. That right there is this character's current, power-up move. I believe they can get different ones throughout the game. Obviously, I have not played the entirety of this game. It's got this cool kind of story campaign thing going on, too, and it's got this old-timey vibe. Here, this is the 4 different characters you're going to be able to play as, so you've got a decent little bit of diversity here, and just kind of the way that they have their unique styles of gameplay and whatnot. So, the girl I was playing as has, vampirism as, a special perk, whereas that girl right there has, bonuses with her explosives and things like that. One of the other guys, I believe, is a better sniper and has more headshot damage or something. So there's just some kind of cool things going on. I love just the entire vibe to this game. This kind of narrator is going to continue to talk throughout the levels, and it actually works really well how he does things. He hasn't really gotten repetitive yet, though. I mean, every once in a while, he likes to make the same jokes a little too often sometimes for my taste, but in general, I've thought it's worked really well. It's actually really cool and something I'm enjoying. We will have a review of this on XBLAfans.com when the embargo lists for reviews. Obviously, this is not that. This is just kind of my early impressions on the game. I'm just kind of showing you guys, some early aspects and kind of explaining the game a little bit, just so you guys know what you can expect when this game does release. I've not gotten the chance to play it co-op yet. I'm looking forward to doing that. I know Aaron is going to be doing the review for us. He and I are going to try to play co-op at some time soon, obviously before he gets that up there, so I'm looking forward to it. And just in general, each of the characters kind of starts with a weapon or whatnot, but you're going to be able to continue to get new weapons and swap them out. You'll be able to put in runes to your guns and some other things like that, so you can get some kind of customization and the ability to make things more powerful. And it just really works pretty well. So this is actually the exact start of the level. I left this in just because I thought, honestly, this showed you a really good look. It's just kind of how, pretty the levels look and how kind of big they feel in a sense. I mean, in general, you're literally going down a path that is more or less the only option. It's never like you're going to get lost. But the level just looks and feels much bigger than it actually is. And that was something I was enjoying here. Obviously, there's collectibles that you can find throughout levels. You're going to be able to shoot different collectibles as well as do some other things. And there's just a lot going on with this game. So you're going to be able to, you know, play a score attack once you've completed each level. You'll be able to push your friends and try to get the highest score on the leaderboard. There's multiple different style of collectibles, including, I believe, like a golden cat, as well as some other things you just need to shoot. And they just kind of work really well. It's got some just creative and unique things. I've really enjoyed the traps. I've really enjoyed the puzzles. Like, this is like the most basic puzzle ever in a sense. But yeah, run into the fire cane. You're a genius. But throughout the levels, there's all these different things that you're gonna find. A lot of treasure chests to be collected. You'll be able to, you know, upgrade your weapons with workbenches and be able to swap them out, and that's always pretty cool. I've really enjoyed the prototype weapons and some of the different ones you're going to see. This is me using, I believe, the SMG that she had earlier. So, like, this is, I think, her starter weapon. It's not exactly my favorite personally. I've really been enjoying the actual rifle. And then for Horde Mode, I was, on the other hand, actually really loving the shotgun, which I thought was kind of funny. Those are two guns that I did not expect myself to be using as much, but they just worked really well. Obviously, headshots are going to do a lot more damage than me just randomly shooting through people's arms and missing. But like I said, she has like vampirism, so she walks up and kicks someone. She actually healed a little bit. I don't know if you noticed. But throughout the level, you'll be able to collect things like potions and stuff if you do need to heal. Right there, I charged back up my amulet by grabbing stuff. This is a workbench. This is where you can change your weapons, and I believe you could upgrade them as well if you actually had something to upgrade. Which at this time in the game, I don't believe I did, but I will find one later, and I have that in this video so you guys can see that. You'll be able to see what I'm talking about and what those kind of do. I go into that a little bit more later when I do the kind of Horde Mode, because with the Horde Mode, it becomes really essential. So this right here, okay, I just bypassed it. I'm about to walk up to it. There's a puzzle right up there where I'm going to have to shoot, you know, these kind of like, I don't know what to call them, but like almost button presses, just in the order that you see above you. And this is just something that's kind of nice because the game's introducing this type of puzzle. You're going to use it a few times throughout this level, and they get a little bit more complicated each time, never really getting hard by any means because it's not difficult to just shoot, you know, in a specific order. But I like the fact that they kind of intro stuff pretty easy, and then they allow it to get a little more complex, which is always nice. You just get some really cool, like, game design here. This is the shotgun. I actually really dug it. That power-up attack is pretty strong, and so far I've liked all the different attacks I've gotten to use with the different characters. I'll show off a different character in Horde Mode, just so you guys can see a little bit different. The gameplay does change up a little bit. In general, it's going to be more or less the same thing, but, you know, it kind of gives it a little bit of a different twist. So you can get different grenades and stuff. This is one of them, actually. This is like the sticky, which worked really well, actually. I was not trying to throw that there, but it just kind of like, I don't know, just kind of worked. But I like the fact that like the entirety of the levels have these kind of like hidden catacombs kind of feel, you know, and you can just go around and see all these different traps. Just walk past the trap right there, actually, and I'm pretty sure I'll have to use that in a little bit. But like, this is the rifle. This is another one of the weapons. I actually was really digging this one. It seems to more or less be like a one-shot kill on most of these weaker enemies, even if you don't hit them in the head, which was just really nice to have. But obviously, you're getting a little bit of a bonus. You know, you can see the gold going up every time I kill someone. I could, you know, be charging my amulet anytime there's blue orbs. The game gets a little more chaotic in some later segments, and you'll see it in Horde Mode in particular. The game can get just absolutely nuts. Right here, this is still pretty early in the game, so this is just pretty chill. A lot more relaxed. But the thing I like about this game is it does a really good job of kind of pacing so far. I'm hoping it can continue with that, but what I've played so far I've really enjoyed. Because, you know, you go through segments, and every once in a while you'll have kind of like almost a horde segment, you know, where you got to kill a bunch of guys in an area, but a lot of it is not just that, you know. It's not one of those games that just move from point A to point B to point C, and at each of those points you stand still and fight a ton of guys. It's a lot more level design than that. You're going to continue to move around. This is one of the areas I did really like, though, because this is what it shows traps off really well. And I like the fact that the game continues to do things like this and just kind of encourage you to keep, you know, interacting with the level and using the various mechanics they give you to kind of kill enemies. And that's just something cool to see. I like when games have, you know, more going on with their levels and stuff like that, to where I actually have a reason to, you know, continue to interact with these. And I love the fact that they have cooldowns in this mode, you know, but they don't just like permanently turn off. And that's really fun because it allows you to just continue to use them. And that's just a nice little perk there. Some of them are pretty sweet. You'll get some crazy combos actually, and the game kind of tracks stuff like that. You know, like if you kill like 8+ guys with a single trap, it'll you know, kind of proc up and notify you. So it does some, you know, kind of cool stuff there. I'm really looking forward to trying some score attack later. That's the one mode I have not played that much of, because I believe, you know, it's going to kind of just be a lot of the same here, because I don't have anyone to compete with on the leaderboard yet. It's like, once I have some friends that actually have the game, I'll have to push your scores, but right now I'm just like, I'm already doing pretty good. But I just really like this trap design. I like the gunplay so far. The power-ups, I'm hoping they get a little more diverse, but I'm looking forward to adding some runes to the weapons just off playing the Horde mode. You can kind of see how quickly those can become helpful, because I was rocking a shotgun with basically, you know, like quick reload. You know, it's a quick fire and quick reload, and like that turns that, you know, kind of hunting style shotgun into just like beast mode at that point. The game's got a lot of decent mobility you can use. This is one of the puzzles, so they do get a little more varied. They're not all the exact same as that other one before. I actually struggled here for a second because I could not find the tail. So at first I thought I had to get every single one of the pieces, you know, and I thought I had to have every single piece working. And I was just like, man, that's not going to be possible. I can't get all the pieces. And then I realized, oh, there's another head down there at the bottom left, which just felt a little weird at first. So we got a two-headed snake over here, but it's going to work out for the best. Oh, man. Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, I was like, man, what do you mean I can't get every single piece? I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And then suddenly I see the head, and I'm like, yeah, we got this. Just much better. Bottom left, Kane. Bottom left. You got this, bro. It's painful watching myself do puzzles. I'm sorry, guys. I'm impressed you guys watch my videos. You got this, man. Yeah, you see it. Oh, man. He stopped sucking at games. But, yeah, you can continue to get, you know, more or less, most of these are not that hard to do or find. I think by the end of the level, I ended up with most of the, you know, chests. And I think I was missing a couple of the things I could shoot. And then this is just like another puzzle here that honestly is kind of cool. I like this one. I mean, it's nice and simple. It's not anything complex. I edited out me fat thumbing it. I'm just trying to walk through it. I just hit the wrong thing. Just like, dang it. But no, this is kind of like our first like encounter with some creatures that are a little more powerful. We fought a couple guys with armor earlier in the level. We fought those scorpions, but now we're gonna get these like mummies as well as some other enemies, and it's just a nice little end to this level. If I had not edited this footage, it clocked in around 40 minutes, I think, but that was with me exploring a lot, just kind of looking around. It's a decent bit of content just in this one level, so I'm optimistic that, you know, there's gonna be a lot more with the rest of the game as well. There's a lot of things you can do when you do want to replay stuff. You can add in the number of enemies within the map selection. You know, you can play that, you know, score attack mode, and you can kind of try to get creative with your kills, you know, kind of like, say, Bullet Storm or something like that. You know, you can kind of try to get creative with your kills, you know, kind of like, say, Bullet Storm or something like that. So, you know, there's a lot of things that you're going to be able to do, you know, trying to, you know, speed run the level, but also, you know, speed run it while doing it in a more creative way than just, you know, running around. This is another one of those kind of special guns you can get. This one's real strong. I was digging it. But throughout the level, there's those boxes that you can just buy these, and you've got plenty of money throughout the levels. My understanding is I had way more than I would ever need. One thing I didn't realize till later in the game is the fact that you can actually reuse most of them. So, you know, if you bought something at the one, but you want to buy something again, you can just run back up to it. And you can generally still buy it for, I think, the same price. I don't know, they might have increased it slightly, you know, on the second buy. I can't remember off the top of my head. But in general, the gameplay in this is just fairly tight. I've been enjoying it. We'll jump into Horde Mode, and I'm just going to show that off for you guys. So, Horde Mode immediately reminded me of, like, old school Call of Duty Nazi zombies, except for the differences, there's, you know, variety in the enemies. You know, like, when I think of the old school Nazi zombies, I think of just the slow zombies in a small building. But what you're looking at is you're looking at those levels that have the various interactable, you know, environment things. You've got, you know, this workbench that you can buy your new weapons. You'll be able to open up some things at various times. You'll be able to use this as kind of like a random box, you know, to get a stronger weapon. And you're going to be able to, you know, just kind of continue to collect money and try to survive as long as you can. I was talking to Aaron, and he was making it around wave 10 before he just kind of gave up. I made it to wave 9, and I fell off the map somehow, which neither of us knew was possible. Because this is one of those games that doesn't have a jump. Grenades in this mode are really OP, and they do respawn, so you can continue to use them as much as you want. If I had been paying attention there, I would have used my amulet to charge it up, because I just killed so many guys. You know, there'd be so much going on there. So you start off with just the pistol. You got to earn money to be able to buy something better. But, like, the early level is not hard by any means. You're just fighting these little baby zombie dudes, baby mummies. I don't remember what they are. Probably a mummy. But, this really showed me how, like, well the dodge in the game worked. Because you can just travel throughout the level, and honestly, if you're being smart about it, it's pretty hard to hit you. And that's just kind of cool. There's, you know, traps throughout this area. There's going to be various things like this ammo container that you can use if you do run out of ammo for your primary weapons. At certain times, you know, the boxes are going to move around the map, forcing you out of your comfort zone a little bit and forcing you to go to a new area. Things are going to get bigger, you know, as you get to the later areas. You'll be able to open up some areas and get some runes and also some blueprints for other guns that will allow you to then buy those guns and whatnot. When you get toward the end of a wave, it'll let you know, and it'll put these little icons above people's heads. And that's how you know, okay, I'm about to finish this. And you can kind of either, you know, take your time and get ready for the next level, you know, if you want to, you know, buy stuff, or you can do whatever. You also know that you can, you know, just use these and they'll reset. So that's going to reset for me next wave, which is really nice. And I can go down and I can go buy a gun now. So I'm going to end up using the shotgun, and I stuck with the shotgun pretty much the entire game. I don't think I ever changed it up, actually. I kind of wish I had, because eventually I had some better guns, but I was just doing so well with this thing, I didn't want to get rid of it. You can, you know, change your grenades out, and that's obviously my my special thing there. So he's got this charge, and what that does is, you know, any enemy in front of him, if he has his full, you know, meter, he can, like, punch them, and he, like, turns them into a bomb, basically. So, you know, they just go flying backwards and blow up. So there's a couple different choke points that the enemies, you know, will spawn out of, but they'll also just randomly appear. So it's not like one of those games where you can just kind of sit and, you know, be ready on the spawn point and just keep them dead that way. You're gonna have to, you know, treat it a little bit like a twin stick shooter, if you know what I mean. So you're gonna be running around the map, kind of doing that circle motion, where you're just trying to shoot the guys chasing you from behind, you know. You got to be a little mobile. You can't just kind of chill in one area. And that especially becomes true when the enemy variety gets a little more interesting. I'm going to jump to later footage in this because I don't think you guys want to see me just kill a bunch of weak enemies, you know, for 30 minutes here. I think you'd rather see some of the more interesting aspects of this mode. Plus, the cool thing about this is I can show off this, and this has enemies that you haven't seen yet in the campaign stuff I was allowed to show. So it gets kind of crazy. There's a lot going on. That right there is his super, and like I said, you know, you basically punch him, and he turns into an exploding bomb. There is a curb stomp that, you know, you could have done right there, and it actually looks pretty cool. Enemies, you know, will eventually start getting armor. You'll start getting more ranged ability enemies. You'll get some super strong guys that take a lot of bullets to kill. You know, they'll have full armor. Like, there's these, like, Minotaur guys that'll chase you around the map. Those guys are annoying as hell, because, I mean, even when I started killing them quicker, like, they were not fast by any means. It takes a little bit. The nice thing is your health will replenish every single round between rounds. You have one health potion you can use that'll basically guarantee you go back to full health. I think I wasted mine fairly early because I didn't realize that it wasn't going to come back. And I wasn't going to be able to find more. But this is pretty cool. You're able to get these runes right here. And, you know, you can kind of put these into your gun now. And these right here sometimes have blueprints. And when you go into them, that'll give you a new weapon that you could get from the workbench. So you can buy something new, you know, and that's just kind of neat. It does some cool things with this. I like the fact that there's lots of rooms like this. You can even open up a few that end up having traps. So, you know, you can add extra traps to yourself to be able to, you know, just kind of rotate around the map with those. And it works out pretty well. That right there is the mummies you saw at the end of the campaign clip. You know, with the ranged attacks where they just shoot stuff down and it, like, blows everything up. But that move right there can honestly be life or death, and it's really clutch. I actually grew to really like this guy's special. Probably more than the other one. So at one point, I started, like, trying to climb around up here, and I thought I could, like, you know, do whatever I want. This I thought was kind of neat. You can literally just, like, break a bridge in the game. You might want it later, so, you know, you can pay to have it fixed, and it'll reset the trap as well. It's pretty expensive. I kind of just wasted it. I just broke it. I don't really think I got any benefit out of it. But I started just, you know, trying to take pot shots up here. I was like, oh man, this is going to be such a nice little choke point. All these guys are so weak. A cool thing is I don't think there's falling damage. So, like, I jumped on and off here all the time, and I never actually died from it. The only time I did die was there's an explosion. I was near the edge of that little cavern right there, and I did go flying off into it, so you do need to be a little careful on that. But yeah, no, like, Horde Mode is kind of what you're going to expect from your typical Horde Mode. You got to be careful with those explosives. They can waste your traps if you're dumb like I am. But, you know, you get gold from every single guy you kill. I'm trying to stockpile gold to open up another one of these, you know, kind of rooms that has runes. And at the moment, I think I can only put one rune in this gun, which is actually kind of a bummer. Because it gets pretty powerful when you stick it in there. I think I have it right now in this gun. That's my guess, but I don't think so, actually. I don't think I've seen the... I'm pretty sure I saved the clip where I put the rune in there so I could show you guys the actual, you know, runes and how they work within the gun. So I think this is just the base shotgun right now. And this is why I liked it so much, that it just reloads pretty quick. It may only have 2 bullets, but it's got decent spread. It just kind of, you know, destroys guys pretty quickly. Magnificent. And yeah, no, I mean, like, popping achievements left and right. That's how I like it. So this right here is that Minotaur guy I mentioned earlier. He's actually not that hard to not get hit by, but he really does force you to move around and pay attention to him, which is kind of annoying. He's got a lot of armor, and you basically just have to, like, stand there and just kind of roll when he gets up to you. Honestly, at first, I wasn't even sure if I could kill him. It was taking me that long. But, I mean, like, you're noticing he's got a lot of armor, and you'll destroy that off him if you continue to hit it. I think I could have hit him where he doesn't have armor, and it would do more damage. Some of those shots I'm just kind of whiffing completely. But this is what I meant. I don't think there's fall damage. I like the fact that I could just, you know, rotate around that. And I didn't have to worry about being trapped up on that ledge all of a sudden. But anytime you just kind of get in a point where you're just a little worried, you can kind of rotate around and blind throw grenades behind you. I mean, they do have a respawn timer, and I'm really curious to see how this game balances a little bit differently when I do start trying to play it with co-op, because grenades felt really strong, and all of a sudden, if we have more grenades, who knows what's going to happen. You know, like, that wasn't strong enough to knock him off, but that did break his armor, as you noticed. And that's pretty clutch. He's honestly pretty strong. I would say of the enemy types I've seen, he's probably been my least favorite in the sense of he's the most annoying to fight. I think it's a cool design. He's annoying. You know, there's a couple others that'll start teleporting. Some that'll throw spears. Some that'll throw fire at you. There's mummies that are, you know, going to do the mummy thing where they, like, you know, earthquake the level. These little guys don't really matter. You'll start seeing skeletons with, like, glowing hearts inside them, where they regenerate if you don't actually kill the heart after you kill them. You know, there's a lot of different variety to the enemies so far, and this is still, I'm assuming, fairly early in the game. You know, like, there's a reason why I can only show this Horde Mode level. I can't show some of the others, so... Like, I think you're going to see even more variety as the game opens up a little bit, and that's something I think is really cool. But in general, like, you know, Horde Mode is Horde Mode. It's kind of what you're expecting. It's not really anything that's going to blow you away, but I can't wait to play this with friends. I'm really digging it. I think this game as a whole, it's been really good so far. I'm just really enjoying it. Definitely something I think you guys should keep on your radar, because there's a lot going on with this game, and it's doing a lot of things right. Please die, Mr. Minotaur. You're really getting annoying. I just need you gone. Like, I need you gone. Because I want to show you him dying. And then I want to jump to the next clip. Because honestly, I want to get to some later game where you're actually going to see some more stuff going on. But yeah, no, like, this is what was driving me nuts about this guy. I don't think I'm hitting him cleanly every time. I think that's got to be the issue. Because I remember taking him out later in the game a lot quicker. You know, if you run out of your shotgun, you got to go, you know, back to one of the refill crates, or just start running with that pistol. And when it comes to some of these later enemies, you don't really want to run with that pistol if you don't have to. It's not exactly optimal. Alright, Minotaur boy, I need you to die. There you go. Good boy. Good boy. And he's literally the only guy left. It's just going to be me mopping up enemies. So let's skip ahead. Alright, so now I think we're in wave 8 or 9. This is me, and I'm finally going to include the runes that I've unlocked. I'm just looking at the different weapons I found blueprints for. So, you know, there's 2 different shotguns I could be using now. I'm going to continue to use this one, but I'm going to stick in a rune. An option to make my gun more powerful, you know, help me get more souls, or quick reloads. And I went with the quick reloads. I figured when you're going to use a shotgun, you've already got the damage you need, man. What you really need if you're going to use that shotgun is you want to be able to do the, you know, the quick reloads to be able to keep continuing to hit stuff. And that's what's really clutch.
Oh, new wonderful weaponry.
So much better, and you're going to be able to do a lot more there with that. So, I'm looking forward to playing more of this. This game is going to come out next week on Xbox One. It's on some other platforms as well, obviously. It is $49.99, I believe. I've really enjoyed what I've played. Let's show you guys some different enemy variety real quick. Let's buy another one of these. I honestly wasn't even buying these for the longest time because I just wanted to keep opening doors and see what happened. You know, I wanted to see more and more of the different environments. But now that we're at this point in the game, let's just, you know, have some fun and go crazy with things. So, like, you can see right here, you know, they've moved the spawn now. I can't use those anymore. So now I got to be a little more creative here. This quick reload is pretty clutch. This is one of those enemies I was talking about. If you don't hit him directly in that part, he doesn't actually blow up. That's a teleporter right there. They can get pretty annoying because they're just going to kind of flank around on you. I've got one guy throwing fireballs at me. I don't know if you've noticed. But yeah, we've got a lot more variety at this point. You know, things have kind of shaken it up. There's a spear guy who's going to jump in the air and lunge at me. He's got armor. We're going to find some shield guys at one point. And just in general, the game just gets a lot more open and a lot crazier. This gun kind of like freezes people. It wasn't really working too hot for me compared to some of the other ones I've seen, like the explosives. I'm a big fan of like the exploding shotgun bullets. That lunging spear is pretty strong. Definitely got to be careful to not get hit too much. One cool thing about the game though is, you notice you have that health bar, you have that blue health, and then that red health. The red health will continue to recharge. So as long as you don't take a fatal blow while you're, you know, low, you can continue to get more there. And that's actually really clutch if you're one of those people who's just kind of like, you know, running around on super low life. You can continue to do that for a good bit of time. I really liked this bridge. It was a nice little choke point, but obviously, as you can see, I'm starting to have to deal with random things being thrown at me, which makes it a little less optimal because I can't see any of them. You know, it's just they're flying out of nowhere. But, you know, some of these guys are really strong. That sword guy in particular, if he hits you, it does insane damage. So you got to be really careful here. Grenades, as always, are still going to be really strong for us, and that's kind of what I'm rocking. But in general, this has been Strange Brigade. I've been really enjoying this game. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do check out some of our other content. We have a lot of awesome quick tastes for you guys. I know this one was really, really long, but I wanted to show off more content, and this game has a lot going on, and it would have been pretty hard to do this in under 10 minutes and still give you guys, you know, kind of a good feel for this game. Let me know what you guys think of stuff like this. Like, do you like more, you know, lengthy videos like this or what? Because if, you know, if you prefer, I could still, you know, try to tone something like this down into that 10-minute range. Like, we make these things for you guys, so, like, whatever you guys enjoy, just let me know. Hopefully some of you guys will pick this up, because I want to play some co-op, I'm not going to lie. But this is Kane with the XBLA fans. Thanks again so much for checking out this video. And please do like and subscribe, and please do share. It really helps us out a ton. You guys have no idea how much that stuff helps. But anyways, guys, later.